Hey guys, today is Monday, November the 8th. I'm your host, Moses Rangel, and you're watching the Quicky Show, where we scour the web to bring you a recap of the local news right here in San Antonio. We have a great show for you today, so here are the top stories for this past week. Well, fall has finally made its presence felt in the Alamo City, and I couldn't be more excited. Last week, an overnight cold front brought temperatures down to the 50s. Not only did it bring cool air, but small pieces of hail as well. Some hail measuring 1 3/4 inches around SeaWorld, and about ½ inch of rain fell throughout the city. These temperatures are normal for this time of year, which makes for great shopping and for Saturday morning flag football. Councilman Philip Cortez and community members broke ground to start construction on a nearly $6 million roadway improvement project. This groundbreaking ceremony took place at the Medina-based park. The project provides for widening of the roadway from 2 to 5 lanes, construction of curbs, sidewalks, necessary drainage, as well as traffic signal improvements. In more news, News Radio 1200 WOAI reports that there are big changes for the city's garbage collection. One of those changes involves the commingling of brush and bulky items. There will be 2 brush collection events per year and 1 bulky collection event, so there's actually an increase in service. Solid Waste Department spokesman David Newman says another proposal, which has been on the table for some time, will crack down on people who place regular garbage into their blue recycling bins. Newman says residents who don't comply could be dropped from the program. Another change is to prohibit people from placing their leaves on the curb in plastic bags, which will now need to be placed in cardboard boxes or place them in large lawn and leaf bags. The changes will take effect immediately. In university news, the San Antonio Business Journal reports that Texas A&M University San Antonio capped off its first building for its permanent campus. The 91,000 square foot building will house the library, bookstore, student services offices, classrooms, faculty and administrative offices, and a food service area. The site is located on Loop 410 between Zarzamora and Morrison Roads. The building is expected to be ready for use by the fall 2011 semester. Over the weekend, the annual Latino Music Festival played its 3rd showcase at Main Plaza, reports San Antonio Cultura. The festival celebrates the depth and growth of the music that has become synonymous with the culture of San Antonio. The festival includes local favorites Tortilla Factory, Grupo Fantasma, and Flaco Jimenez, which is undoubtedly one of San Antonio's and South Texas' most notable homegrown musicians. And finally, in sports, Project Spurs reports that Spurs guard Tony Parker signed a 4-year, $50 million extension to remain a Spur. This definitely gives the Spurs what it's going to need to be a title contender through the remaining years that the Big Three may have. And that concludes this week's top stories. As we do with every Quickie Show, we bring you a fresh word of the week. And this week's Quickie Show word of the week is, oh, hold up, player. Nobody wants to hear you give this week's Quickie Show word of the week. Guys, I apologize. Excuse me, who are you? They call me Daddy Hott Nickles, the one and only. Daddy Hott Nickles, what are you doing here? Brother, I'm taking over this place. This is my crib now. I'm not sure I follow you. Well, seeing as to how I am proficient in my speaking abilities, your director asked me to come by here and give this week's Quickie Show word of the week. Don't you mean you want to deliver the week's Quickie Show word of the week and not give this week's Quickie Show word of the week? Are you correcting Daddy Hott Nickles? No, player. I mean to give this week's Quickie Show word of the week. Get out the way and let me do what I've got to do. People of the 210. Uncle Hott Nickles is about to educate your education. For this week's Quickie Show word of the week, I chose the word Natch. So what is Natch, Uncle Hott Nickles? Well, boys and girls, Natch is an abbreviation for the word naturally. Naturally means, of course. If you were to ask me, is Daddy Hott Nickles the flyest something another in the 210? I'd have to say, well, Natch. And that's this week's Quickie Show word of the week. That was a horrible rendition of the Quickie Show word of the week. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, Mr. Nickles. It's Daddy Hott Nickles, player. Quit cramping my style, G. Sorry, guys. Well, that concludes this edition of the Quickie Show. I'd like to thank my guest / intruder, Mr. Nickles. Remember, you can email us your comments, your questions, or your story submissions to fans@QuickyShow.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/Quicky Show. You can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and MySpace. That's all the time that we have. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on The Quicky Show.